Hi, it's the Moonchild Medium. Welcome to this reading. If you're here, this is going to be more of a general relationship reading in line with the February series of love and relationships that I've been doing. I say February, I really am just doing like the last week of February, but there's just like this energy that we're all moving through as we're moving towards the spring equinox. And so I am here to bring you messages to help you get through it. If you're here in this reading, it is because your guides, your ancestors, your angels have brought you here to give you some messages. So I invite them into this reading right now, and we're going to get right into it. Just so that you know that this reading is for you, I'm going to pull several cards, and the first one is going to be about who you are. We have the Ace of Swords. I already knew that this is going to be a reading for someone who is very, very, very special. Okay, you're somebody who has this beautiful, big, innate gift. You know it too. You know that you're a brilliant, bright star. People have told you this. You are somebody who is very strong. And I don't mean that in the sense of the word that I think other people have told you that, like, oh, you've been through a lot and you've survived it, so you're really strong. No, no, no. I mean that you, by nature, were born to lead. You were born to usher change into this world. And who you are is a very, very discerning person. So your intuition has led you here, and your intuition has, like, it's leading you everywhere right now that you're going. Like, you're just really in tune with your own intuition. And you may not even be consciously thinking about it, but you should be noticing right now that a lot of things just seem to be working out for you. Like it could be that you made a purchase that was frivolous, and it was like at the last minute. It was like, one of the things that was like up at the front of the store, like next to the counter or something. Or it could just be like an impulse buy, like that you made off of like eBay or Amazon, and it's something that it was inconsequential, but then you found out that like that was the thing that you needed, like at another moment that you needed it, like you hadn't planned it out like that. It just worked out that you had this idea like, oh, I need to do this, and then you turned around and that was the thing that either like it saved you in a pinch, or like it actually helped you out in an emergency of some sort. And it may not be like that exact scenario, but you would if this is your reading, then you're probably experiencing things like that. I also see you as someone who has like you have big goals for yourself, big plans. I just saw 222 on the timestamp as I was saying that. You have big goals for yourself, and you are somebody who is very magnetic. You make very like good connections with people. Relationships are, fairly easy for you. And not to say that you've never had relationships that are difficult for you, but I feel that right now you're in a moment where you have the talent and the capability to create a community, or like to network with people, or to like just like really bond very closely with your friends or your family, your chosen family, whatever that means to you. I Before I turn this reading on, as I was preparing for the reading, I heard Doja Cat's I'm a bitch, I'm a boss, I'm a bitch, I'm a boss, and I shine like glass. Is like really, it was like a very, empowering kind of vibe that I was getting. You are somebody who, you are a boss. You are like girl boss. I just saw that on Netflix just like pop up the other day, and I had already seen it, so I'm like, that's interesting that it's like popping up again. So all of that, I feel like I'm getting like very strong confirmation in my body right now that is like, yep, you're hitting on it. You're hitting on it. This person who is in this reading right now is a bitch and a boss, like in that way. You know what I mean? Like not the bad kind of way. Um, but they want me to like word it just like that. So I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it like that. Okay. So that is you. That's who you are. That's your relationship to yourself. You're like cultivating a very good relationship with yourself where you understand boundaries, your own boundaries, like you're setting good boundaries for yourself. Um, and yeah, you're like somebody who you're not gonna like take shit from anybody right now, but you're also pretty open to whatever can come. I also kind of have this feeling that you are in an energy right now where like things may be a little bit chaotic around you and you may have some questions that are unanswered, and you have come to terms with the fact that you are in just like a period of not knowing those answers. But it's like some of us who have experienced that recently, it's like that can cause a lot of anxiety, and you can see it as like something that's like, it could feel like something that's like depression or anxiety in your body, because it's like, oh, there's all these endless possibilities and I don't actually know what the outcome is going to be. But on the flip side of that, there's the ability to look at it like, oh, there's all these endless possibilities and anything can happen, and that's actually kind of exciting, and that's like it's like I can see this as an adventure, and I feel like you are somebody who like you have the capability right now of embracing life in that way. Like it's just this big adventure. So you are right now. We've been, you know, in the readings that I've been doing for the past few days, we've been going through this very transformative energy, moving through some things. So I'm really, really excited to see that you're actually, for those of you watching this one right now who are resonating with this reading, I'm really excited to see that you're actually standing in your power right now. You are winning right now. And there's like this, you're starting this new, it's like a new path. And I don't want to say new like that you're like, you know, starting this whole new life, but it's like almost even just a new mindset or a new way of seeing things and being more in touch with your intuition, more in touch with your spirit guides, and just moving more from a place where you are actually listening to your guides and you know, relying on your community also. Like I feel like a lot of you here have a community that is very spiritually in tuned to each other, and so relying on each other also is something that you've been likely doing, but we'll get into that a little bit later. I'm going to ask the cards about that. So the next card that I'm pulling for you is about your relationship to love. Right now we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. There's a little bit of a scarcity mindset, I think, with this love, with the relationship to love, and a feeling of like instability, maybe like financial instability, maybe in your relationship there's a little bit of insecurity when it comes to finances, or if you're somebody who's not in a relationship, you know, I think that, you know, working on your relationship to money is, you know, a factor here in your relationship to abundance and like material wealth. I've seen it in some of the other readings in the past, so that's why I'm going there with it right now. It just feels very congruent with the way that the previous readings have gone, where, you know, the relationship to money correlates directly to the relationship to abundance. Like the relationship to money also, it's like money is security in this material realm right now, in the world that we live in. Money, material possessions, that's security, because you need to have a house. You know, we're not allowed to live out and about. You know, you have to have somewhere to live. You have to, you know, like have a doctor that you go to. You have to be able to pay your bills. You have to be able to feed yourself. You know, there's all these things that require finances and material wealth, right? And so then that connects to stability and security. If you don't have your finances or material possessions in order, then you don't really have stability. Even if you were out in the wilderness, you would have to have things to build a shelter with to keep yourself safe. So, in general, just the concept of material wealth being basically the same thing as security, or like, it goes hand in hand with security in your life. And that also applies to the concept of abundance. If you feel that you are not secure, you're not going to feel that you have abundance in your life. If you feel that you don't have money, you're not going to feel like you have abundance in life. Same thing. If you don't feel that you have abundance in life, you're going to not feel secure. You're going to not feel that you can make money or that you have money. All of those things tie together in that when we are holding on to, we're holding on to things that don't serve us, or it's a complicated issue. So I'll try to get it through. But it's like when you're holding on to things that don't serve you, then that creates a scarcity mindset where you believe that if you let go of that thing, then you will not be secure, and that if you let go of that thing, you will not be abundant. So it's like you could be holding on to something that's keeping you from moving forward, or keeping you from creating more security or material wealth for yourself. But because you are afraid that letting it go would cause a lack of abundance or a lack of security, then that causes you to stay stuck in this place of not being able to create security for yourself, and in turn not be able to create abundance for yourself. So these are all things that go hand in hand, and this is something that is definitely affecting your personal relationship right now. For some of you, this may be that you're not trying to be in a relationship. Now is not the right time, or maybe you're open to it, but you're just not actively seeking it. If you're on that spectrum of things, you could be dealing with this as maybe with an ex, or a past relationship, or a situationship, something that it's a relationship that you're holding on to for security. And maybe, because letting go of it feels insecure, or maybe you have had to overcome the feeling of, now that you don't have that, now how are you going to create abundance for yourself? So that's if you're on that side, on that spectrum of things. But if you're on the other spectrum of things, where you actually are in a relationship that's committed, and it's not something where you're wondering if you're supposed to leave that relationship or not. This is I believe speaking to your situation in a way that's just asking you not to worry so much about money. There may be some moves that you have to make, as a couple or something, or as a family or something like that, where you're having to possibly move from one job to another job, or one location to another location, or just shift gears in the way that you approach finances, or there's some sort of shift happening in the relationship, and there's resistance to it because there's this holding on to something that isn't serving. And so I can ask about some clarification for that in a moment. But what I really want to get into next is the relationship to your immediate community, which would be friends and family outside of your romantic life. So we have the Two of Swords. There's definitely a bit of being in protection mode Some of you may be relying on, no, I want to say like some of you may be called to rely on your friends and family more, but you're having difficulty being vulnerable. I think sometimes like it's really scary to open up, especially if these are like friends, you know, who are part of like your chosen family, who like haven't, they don't know everything about you, because it takes time to get to know everything about somebody. And so there's like maybe a bit of vulnerability that is needed to be had here. But I do see you kind of like in a mode of self-protection. You have difficulty, I think, trusting the people in your circle fully. Even if there's love there, even if there is some trust there, but there's just like something about it where you're not fully letting people in. And there's, I feel like your intuition at this moment is guiding you to that. There's like something with like opening up to your friends about your emotions. Um, and, 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 you know, like I said before, I do think that there is like a lot of spiritual and psychic connection and emotional connection between you and your friends. And I think that they bring a grounded energy to your life, and you do the same thing for them. And so this is a chance for you not only to learn to trust them a bit more, but also to gain their trust a little bit more. We gain trust when, let me just put it this way. There have been people in my life who they get really deep with me and they want to know all the nitty-gritty details, and they want to ask me about everything I'm struggling with, and it really seems like they're really invested in me and they want to know everything about me. They want to know these are people who love me, but they want to know everything about my struggles and my pain and the things that I'm growing through, like not necessarily all the good things. They're not asking about that. They're seeing me as somebody who needs their help. Sorry about the knocking. The heaters are going pretty strong right now because it's pretty cold where I'm at. And this is an old building, so. But yeah, you're somebody who in some way wants to know all the things about people that that excite them or make them sad, and you want to know their pains and really get in deep with them, right? But then, so, you know, back to the story about the person who's like that, they actually, on the flip side, would not ever open up to me about the things that they were struggling with, or they would be like, you know, oh, like I can't let them know about, you know, can't let anyone else know about these things, these ways that I struggle in the same ways that they do. You know, like there's this like type of person who wants to know what people are struggling with, but they don't want to open up about their struggles, and it kind of like puts them in a position where it's like they feel that they have to be perfect in order to be like a healing force in the lives of others. And so I feel that you're somebody who, because you're this amazing, brilliant, bright, like talented person with big ideas and big plans, you are somebody who your friends come to and your family come to for advice, and they lean on you a lot. And I think that you sometimes have the tendency to like withhold vulnerability from them. Like you're all in when it comes to their emotions, but you're not interested in sharing your emotions because you feel that if they knew the ways in which you struggled, or the things, like if they knew what your house looks like, you know, like that kind of like vibe. They knew what you do in your spare time, how you're, how like the things that you're putting in your body or the things that you're putting in your mind. Like if they just knew that you weren't exactly like this perfect healed person, then they wouldn't look up to you anymore, or you wouldn't be as healing in their life. So I think that that's like, you know, something, it's like, it's both a protective thing for you, but this like false belief that you have to be a healed person to be a healing person. And so I think that, you know, that's something that you're working on right now, is being more vulnerable with your friends and your family. Then your relationship to the community around you, your local community, is we've got the Three of Swords in reverse, which is usually, when we're talking about relationship, is about healing from brokenheartedness, healing from being, you know, like in this like down period. So I feel like you're in a moment where you're not ready fully to jump into like everything that you want to do in the community, but you are starting to get over some of the things that have been holding you back from participating the way that you would like to participate. Maybe you're starting to see some improvements in your local community or at work, or maybe you're actually also just changing, like shifting your mindset about the world around you. I feel that there has been somewhat of like black and white thinking, some rigidity or like, you know, protection that you kind of like put around yourself, your heart, because you have been so so much in this like very like down, like depressed or anxious energy. But I do feel that that is like something that you are overcoming at this point. It's like, you know, you've been in more in like this depressive episode, and it's okay to still be there. But just know that that is actually like your heart is healing. You are naturally healing, and you may have been doing things recently to help your heart. Like you may be eating more leafy greens, or you know, tomatoes or strawberries, or you may be doing things that you know are good for your heart health, like some cardio, or you know, like for example, I've been smoking some herbs that are good for the heart chakra. You know, like getting in touch with your intuition also opens the heart. Connecting with people also opens the heart. And so I feel that, you know, you as a person are in this a very triumphant moment. I just saw 2 that was amazing, as I was just saying that you're in this very triumphant moment. And it really has to do with the fact that you are opening up to the world around you. You are opening up to your friendships, your relationships. You're opening up to love. You are opening up to you know, your local community again. I feel like there's this like sense of like awakening, where it's like, you know, spring is coming, and I'm getting that imagery of like this like heart blooming, and you're very receptive, you're very open, and when you're very open, you can really manifest from there. And not only that, you can heal from there, and you can project healing energy. And that doesn't mean healing doesn't mean perfection. It just means that it's just another piece of you that you integrated. That's all it means. So I see that as being your relationship to the community. And then lastly, we're going to have the relationship to the world, which is the Four of Wands. I love that. That's happy and harmonious. It's stability. And it's also, I think that you are aware right now that everything is fleeting. Just like I said about, you know, being in that energy of, in tarot, if you don't know anything about it, it's the Fool. It's the very first card in the entire deck. In the major arcana, it's the Fool. And the Fool is represented by the number 0. because 0, just like anything can happen from there. Anything can go with 0, anything. Any possibilities. There's endless possibilities. And so, like I said before, there's like something that can be really scary about that. But if you can look at it as an adventure and see that, like, yeah, there are endless possibilities, and that is really cool. I can create anything I want from these endless possibilities. That is like a really good place to be in right now. I feel like that you are just accepting that nothing is permanent. You are accepting this beautiful, constant changing movement that is the world, that is life. And so I really love to see that. I love to see that. I feel that you are open to the instability of any moment. Like, you can find stability in instability. This is definitely where, like, something that you've been growing through, I think, over the last few days, the last few weeks even. If you've been watching this series of readings, I feel that this is a mindset for you that you have just like embraced, and through embracing this mindset, you're open to working on this, like, you're open to working on this feeling of not being able to be vulnerable or open. You're like healing this like sense of like brokenheartedness. Love to see it. And so I'm just going to ask for a little bit of clarification on some of these things. This is going to be, since this is a general reading, I'm going to try to keep it like pretty general and not too specific. But let's get some clarification on the Ace of Swords. For the Ace of Swords, we have the Three of Wands in reverse and the Hanged Man in reverse. It's really about needing to like take some time out and see things from a different perspective. And I also feel that this like really correlates to your romantic life as well. And the thing on the bottom of the deck that you don't see is the King of Cups. The King of Cups means that you have already achieved a level of emotional intelligence that you can actually rely on to get you through this time of needing to just like wait, observe, like see things from a different perspective. This is also going to be like right now you are moving to a place that's like it's the end of like any trouble for you. So yeah, I do see this again since I pulled the Hangman. I do feel like you are seeing things from a different perspective, and you're open to more of that. So that's why this mind shift has kind of like shifted you and moved you through some of this energy of like insecurity, to where now you are embracing like the endless possibilities. So please give us some clarification on the Four of Pentacles. For clarification on the Four of Pentacles, we've got the Page of Swords. Definitely starting something new, especially when using your intuition and your communication skills. I feel like you're building some new communication skills that are really important for you at this time. So keep up the good work, especially when you're talking about communication in romantic relationships and friend and family. So that means like pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Don't be elusive from your friends. Talk to them. What you're not seeing on the bottom of the deck is we've got the Six of Wands in reverse. There is this feeling of loss, but you don't even see how you already won. There's, I feel that this feeling of loss feels that it's like especially centered around the romantic relationship part of things. But I do think that that this is like things turning around in your favor. I believe that this is like you put in some effort when it comes to romance in your life, like the romantic relationship aspect of it. So like there is a promise of things turning around, and I think that you are, if you stop right now and you take a look around, you can see that. As I'm saying that, you're like, wait, yeah, no, I have made progress with this thing. So yeah, I think that that's something that you just need to be reminded of. Then clarification for the Two of Swords. We have the Chariot and we have the Six of Swords. We have the Chariot in reverse and Six of Swords. So there's definitely rapid movement here that I'm seeing when it comes to your relationship with your friends and your family, like your what have I been calling it? The inner community. That relationship with them, I think that it's moving very. It's helping you move through like navigating things in your local community and in the world, in like this like very alchemizing way. They're really helping with your mental health, sorting things out. And so there's still an energy right now of you needing to sort things out, and that's okay. That's where you're at right now, and that's where you're supposed to be. But I will say, I do see a lot of balance coming into your life, and ultimately like a lot of financial abundance, and that's going to be a little bit more in your future. But that's just I'll say the thing that you don't see at the bottom of the deck regarding your like inner community. I don't think that that's what I was saying before, but that's what I'm saying now. The friends and family. We've got Queen of Pentacles. So yeah, self-care right now for you is connecting with friends and family. That means being vulnerable with them, letting them know that you're a person who's struggling as much as they're struggling, okay? And then for the Three of Swords, there's definitely, I feel that travel is helping you right now, and maybe that could be even mental, like for some of you, like you don't have the ability to physically travel, but you are doing a lot of like self-discovery, inner journey. You're like in a moment where meditation could be important for you. But I will say that moving your body is important, especially when you're having emotion. So I think you know this already. But yeah, we have the Knight of Wands at the bottom of the deck, just as a reminder that you are supposed to stay moving. Like whatever that means for you. We all have different levels and abilities of moving. But I do feel like that this is a physical thing. For like whatever it is for you. For some of you, it could be walking. For some of you, you could be able to do things like climb mountains and run and bike and all that stuff. Some of you like maybe can't even get out of bed. But if you have the physical capability of doing it, then do it. If you don't have the physical capability of doing it, then there are little forms of movement that you can do. That is just important that you have some sort of outlet in your body. I'm getting also the reminder that singing might be important for some of you. If you cannot physically move, maybe singing is something that you can do. Writing could also be that's considered a form of movement. Creating in any way, whether it's art, something like that. Movement can be anything you want it to be. But the important part is that you are being reminded to move right now. And then lastly, to clarify this Four of Wands, your relationship with the world. I see the Two of Cups in reverse, meaning that there is someone new coming into your life, or who has just come into your life and inspired you. A new relationship of sorts. And ooh, for some of you, I'm seeing it's not even a person, it's just like your newfound relationship with spirituality, with just like this like healing medicine that you give. So like especially for those of you who your movement needs to be like creative, like singing, writing, dancing, right now that holds a lot of medicine for yourself and for others. So that's something that you are learning to cultivate, and I think that you are being called. And you feel the call right now to be very creative. The thing that you don't see on the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Swords, which I had seen pop up a little bit before, but then even as we're shuffling again, there it is again. So you are going through moments of anxiety, and maybe also like insomnia, staying up late at night. If you are having insomnia and staying up late at night, or getting up too early in the morning and not being able to go back to sleep, then I would definitely recommend doing that movement, whatever that is to you. If it's like a little bit of exercise to get yourself back to sleep, or if it is actually like being creative and getting something out there. It's like I feel that anxiety for you is just a lot of like energy that needs to come out. And because of your relationship with the world, that not everything is permanent, but you are happy and content with that. And so just use that energy to move you through. Use your emotional intelligence, have faith in the victory that is coming for you. Rely on your friends and family right now as a form of self-care, but also keep moving, especially when you're feeling anxious. Find some sort of outlet to that anxiety, because right now I don't think that what you're experiencing is just anxiety. I know like a lot of us here do probably struggle with anxiety, and it may even be chronic, and that may be part of the disability that some of us are dealing with. But there's also this energy of there's a little bit extra in it. Maybe you've been having more anxiety than usual, but the extraness is that you actually have some creative energy that needs to come out in some way. Okay, so that's what I got for you today. Please let me know if this resonated with you. If it did, like, and again, comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you.